Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at this brand new Marvel Legends 2-pack with Wolverine and Sabretooth. And this 2-pack goes so hard. Sabretooth alone is nuts. I've been wanting a really ferocious looking Sabretooth in the collection for a couple of years now. I was really close to buying the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Sabretooth over on eBay second hand for £25 all in, and then just before I pulled the trigger, Marvel Legends revealed this 2-pack for £44 all in. Working out at £22 each, I thought that was a pretty good deal. This Sabretooth definitely looks like a bigger and better upgrade of that Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wave Sabretooth. And then even though Marvel Legends release Wolverine figures left, right and centre, we are getting a bit of a different design this time around. We've got Wolverine in a more casual outfit with the shirt, jeans, the cool as heck cowboy hat. We also get a couple of interchangeable parts in this 2-pack. I definitely thought that it looked like it was worth the price, and so I hit that pre-order button. So first of all, we've got the box, and I do really like the design on this packaging. At the top we get 50 years, Marvel's Logan and Sabretooth. Marvel Legends here, a quick warning, really nice Wolverine logo at the bottom here, and we get these slash marks down the side. Going to the side of the box, we get some really nice artwork of each character, Wolverine on this side and Sabretooth on the other. And then on the back of the box, we get a write up here, so hit that pause button if you want to read it now. Below that we get this Wolverine comic cover, and it says it's drawn inspiration from this. I don't know if that means the figures are drawing inspiration from this, or if it's this artwork that's drawn inspiration from this, because neither of them share a similar look to the characters. If we take a closer look at that comic cover here, we've got Sabretooth in a very different outfit, Wolverine shirtless with some jeans on, and then on this artwork here we do have the designs of the figure. However, this one has a very ferocious looking Wolverine head, and we'll see very quickly that we don't get such a head in this 2-pack, but I do like this comic inspired artwork on the back here, and I like that they've included an old Wolverine comic cover that they've taken inspiration off somewhere. So yeah, cool box. Let's take a closer look at the figures. So let's start with taking a closer look at our Sabretooth figure here. We're nearly 4 months down into 2024, a quarter of the way through the year, and I think this is definitely my favourite Marvel Legends of the year so far. I mean, he is looking incredible. We'll start with the interchangeable parts here, and we get this alternate head sculpt. And as I said at the start of the video, I wanted a ferocious looking Sabretooth, and I don't think it gets more ferocious than this. This head sculpt is absolutely ace. The hair sculpting here and the paint all over both of these figures is top notch. I mean, I like all the different tones here. If you look at the flesh tone and then the different paints around the eyes are whited out. He is looking scary. The teeth are really nicely sculpted. The mouth, the dark tones in there, the lips and everything. I don't think it could possibly get much better than this. This head sculpt is 10 out of 10 in my eyes, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, it's great. I've used both the head sculpts when I've been taking pictures of Sabretooth and Wolverine here, so they definitely both get used. However, the alternative hands is a bit of a different story. I don't think the hands are really different enough to be essential. If we get both the left-handed hands here, There's really not much of a difference between these two. It is genuinely, as far as I can see, the index finger points out the way on this one and it's curled in here. I don't know if that's some kind of nod to the comics where this was like an iconic Sabretooth pose, but it just doesn't feel different enough to be included. Don't get me wrong, I like that we are getting more with our figures here, but was that really the best they could do when we're looking at the alternative hands? I don't know, I feel like they could have went for a different sort of posed hand that would make more of a difference. Our right arm here, the hand is a bit more different, it's more curled in, looks a bit more of a grabby hand, and makes more sense to be included here. So we get two alternative hands, an alternative head, and then the figure itself, and I can't imagine it getting much better. I don't know what much more you need in a Sabretooth figure here. Once again, this head sculpt here is just incredible. There is slight differences in the hair sculpt here. You can see that it's a bit more floppy, a bit more relaxed, and this definitely looks like he's in more of a pouncing pose. But the colours, the different tones are still here throughout. The face sculpt is excellent. You've still got those scary looking eyes, and he's got a smirk right round his mouth on this one. Both excellent head sculpts, and it captures the essence of Sabretooth so damn well. I really like this bit around the neck as well. This is a bigger, bulkier figure, and I think the proportions of this thing are pretty excellent. He is looking a bit top heavy with the long, large shoulders and arms, but I like the look of it, and I think this bit around the neck is a good size. It adds to the figure really well. It's on there, it's pretty solid, and same as the hair on his head, this is all sculpted really nicely, and I do like the different tones of paint going throughout. It is a bit more bare on the back, but you can see on the front here they've added a bit more colour. Yeah, this thing looks so good. All the sculpting is pretty much on the top. We then get this super body mold, but the rest is all kind of painted on. Apart from when we look at the gauntlets here, you get a bit of a spike going out the back, which looks really good in the photos. And yeah, the rest is just got a nice coat of paint all over. Again, the body mold is excellent. He looks shredded. He's quite literally got a 9-pack there, or is it even like you've got 1, 2, 3, so 6, 7, maybe an 8-pack. We'll go for an 8-pack. But he is looking damn awesome. The way the ribs are protruding as well. The arms are nice and big. Double jointed elbows, and it's nice and pinless, and the crunch you get on this is excellent as well. A lot of movement here. You've got the waist pivot, upper bicep swivel, double jointed knees. But my biggest problem I think with this figure is that the legs aren't pinless. The top looks so flawless and sleek. It's pinless, it's looking good, and they were too lazy to give us the pinless legs. I'm not going to complain too much because, as I said, this is a £22 figure. The 2-pack was priced at £44 all in. Maybe that helps the cost. Maybe the legs having the pins in them managed to keep the cost low, but with everything else going on with these two figures, it would have been really nice if the whole thing was pinless, and it would have just added that extra feel to the figure. When I saw that it wasn't pinless, I was a bit disappointed, but it doesn't really ruin the figure for me. So before I jump into some comparisons, I do also just want to say that Sabretooth here has some butterfly joints. I think that's worth mentioning. Definitely adds to the articulation and the range of movement on that piece. And overall, when I have been posing this Sabretooth around, it has been a lot of fun. But to compare him to some other figures in the collection here, we do have the Logan that comes in the same 2-pack. And previously on the channel, I've spoke about how much I like to see the bigger, bulkier villains made to be bigger and bulkier. If it's Spider-Man versus Venom, I like Venom to look like he's going to give Spider-Man a run for his money. You know, if it's Batman and Bane, Killer Croc, I like the bigger villains to be hulking over the protagonist. And this is exactly what they've delivered on this 2-pack. We've got Wolverine here, his usual smaller, ripped self, but still it looks like Sabretooth is going to give him an absolute fight of his life, and it is so cool to see. I think the proportions on both of these figures are near perfect. Marvel Legends are fairly consistent when it comes to our past Wolverine figures. They're all standing around the same height, each with slightly different looks to them, and so our new Sabretooth is still going to look as menacing next to any previous Wolverine Marvel Legends figures, and I do really like the look of him next to the 3 that I've randomly picked for this comparison. I will say, I do hope we get a newly released brown suit Wolverine for the 50th anniversary. It is about time, it's been a few years now. A pinless brown suited Wolverine would be perfect. And then to compare our new Sabretooth next to another couple of bigger Marvel Legends figures, sticking with the X-Men theme, we've got the retro carded Grey Beast, and we've also got the Venom from the Venom and Null 2-pack. Seeing this Sabretooth in the box and being revealed online, I thought it was going to be as big, if not bigger, than our Venom from the Venom and Null 2-pack, but we can actually see he's standing a wee bit taller, and he's maybe even not as bulky as Venom either, which is surprising because looking at Sabretooth on his own, he is big and he is shredded, so pretty interested to see them two side by side, because it did pass through my mind, as I'm sure a lot of other collectors, what a comic Venom would look like on this base body here. But with this one being as big and gnarly as he is, maybe it isn't as needed as I initially thought, and we can see he is still towering over Beast that wee bit. Maybe not towering over, that's a bit extreme. He's taller. And then last up, we've got our new Sabretooth next to another team member of the X-Men. We've got Cyclops. Cyclops, of course, is a wee bit bigger than Wolverine, as we can see here, but still, Sabretooth is a lot taller, a lot bulkier, and going to tear him apart. And then we've also got the only other Sabretooth figure that I have in the collection. I think we took a closer look at this on the channel. We took a closer look at Cyclops. I'm sure I had a video looking at this Sabretooth because I was really excited for that Sabretooth figure at the time. I still really like it, but you can see why I also wanted this new one in the 2-pack. I think they serve two different purposes. And now of course we have Logan, wee small tiny Logan, or that's how it feels anyway after messing around with that bigger bulkier Sabretooth figure. But this is a really nice Wolverine, and again I'm glad that they've went this route in this 2-pack. We have got so many X-Men variations of Logan over the last couple years, and getting this look for Wolverine in the 2-pack just justified me picking it up that wee bit more, because I don't have a casual looking Wolverine like this. I do have Old Man Logan, which is probably the closest that you get to this figure. I know there was a Wolverine released with a bike that came out a few years ago. I don't see that figure very much. Maybe it was a single release as well. I know there's a Wolverine out there with a tank top and a hat on, but again, you don't see it as much. I don't have it in the collection, and so I definitely welcomed this Wolverine into the collection this time around. He comes with a couple interchangeable hands, some card accessories, and an alternate head. So to take a closer look at them first, the cards are actually really nice. I'm not really going to use them much, but it's a nice touch that they are included. Again, something a bit different, something you'd probably expect to see with Gambit. On the back there you can see it says Xavier, so we do have the X-Men playing cards. And yeah, they're really nicely detailed. They look the part, and again, glad that they've included them. The two hands are a bit more worthwhile with Wolverine because of course they don't have the claws out, so if you want the look where one of his hands or both of his hands are without the claws, we do get that option. And we can see that he has some body hair painted on this figure. They kind of go backwards and forwards whether they should paint the body hair on or not. With this one we do get it, and you can see it on the back of the hands here. Both slightly different, and they are articulated differently as well. This one moves up and down at the wrist, and this one moves backwards and forwards. And yeah, once again, they serve a purpose. I'm glad that we get them. And then we get the alternative head, and both of these head sculpts are really nice. My favourite head sculpts are from that training costume Wolverine that we've briefly seen in this video. I can't remember if I did a separate video looking at this figure. I got it on a Comics and Cocktails sale with the Mark 1 Spider-Man retro carded figure, and I definitely posted pictures on Instagram, but I can't remember if we took a look at it here on the YouTube channel. But for me, the reason I picked this figure up was because these are my favourite Wolverine head sculpts, and they still are. I think they look absolutely fantastic, and we'll do a head swap later on in this video. This time around, this is definitely really good, but similar to Sabretooth's alternative hands, I'm not sure if the expression is different enough to really send this home. You can see the hair sculpted differently on this one. He's got a smirky expression and a different hat. This one he's got cowboy hat again, but different style. His hair isn't as sticky out, and he's got more of a neutral angry face. So they are both similar, and I'll be honest, when I was posing this figure around with Sabretooth last night, they both served a purpose. I was swapping the heads over. I found that some were better for shots than others, and so I can't go at it too hard. I mean, I have used both of them. I do like both of them. I just think going back to the box where it has that image of a really ferocious, angry Wolverine up here, it maybe would have made sense to give us a more different expression that is similar to the angry, ferocious Wolverine. But again, we do have that already. I can't remember what Wolverine figure that this head sculpt was included with, but I mean, that pretty much nails it. I would like to see a cross between these two. I think I like how much more angry this one is, but I prefer the design of this one. So a mix match between these two would be the perfect ferocious Wolverine head sculpt for me. But back to what we do get, it isn't bad at all. I just think maybe a slight more difference would make a bigger change, but hey, I'm happy with both of these two. Taking a closer look at the figure itself, again, this head sculpt looks really good. I really like that slight smirk. I do like the hair sticking out at the sides, and the hat's really nicely sculpted on. Again, I don't have a Wolverine with the hat on in the collection, and so I really like this look to him, and I'm glad that they've executed it as well as they have. Again, the paints are ace all over this thing. The sculpt is absolutely terrific, and yeah, there's nothing I would really change. I do like the kind of matte finish on both of these. They aren't overly shiny. I think compared to, you know, grabbing training suit Wolverine, is that what this one's called? I'm calling them training suit Wolverine. It's very shiny, and I get that that's maybe to do with the bright colours, but these two, Sabretooth and Logan here, both do look like they have a slight matte finish on them. Might just be the colours, but I do really like the look of the tone of colours they've used here. This kind of burgundy red, there's the slight gold silver buttons, like the gold in the buckle here, and then the silver going down. These wee tiny details just make the figure a lot more worth it and pop, you know. It's definitely refreshing to see. We get texturing all around the shirt as well. I mean, look at the back of the figure there. That looks really neat. I love it, and especially because, once again, the top half of this figure is pinless. It looks really premium. It doesn't look like they've skipped out on any bits here. The articulation is really nice. Like, you do get a nice crunch here with Wolverine. He goes about that far forward. You can get him moving not very far back, but that crunch is quite nice. I wish the head moved up a wee bit more. With the head and the hat at the back there, you can only really get it about that far up, but could be worse. Yeah, double jointed elbows, the bicep swivel. There's no butterfly joint here, but I've had a lot of fun posing this around. You get the waist cut here, upper bicep swivel, double jointed knees, and again, the legs aren't pinless. Same comments as Sabretooth. I'm not going to harp on about it too much, but again, it caught me by surprise that I went into this just assuming that it was going to be pinless. Our training suit Wolverine, which I think was the last Wolverine we got, is all pinless. And so with Marvel Legends, it's just kind of like one step forward, two steps back. Yeah, it was an unexpected discovery seeing the pins there, but he's still looking good. I like the tone of the blue here. I love the look of the shirt. As I said, the body here is painted on there. Shoes, I think, are a reuse, especially pulling in old Logan here. In fact, no, they've got some slight different sculpted details on them there. I think they are actually relatively different. I don't know, they are very sameish. But yeah, this is an excellent Wolverine figure. Bit of a different design. I really like it. And so here is our new casual looking Wolverine next to some other Wolverines in the collection. We've got Old Man Logan, training suit, brown suit, and the Heat Claws Wolverine as part of the Bonebreaker wave. And I like all of these Wolverine figures. I think that is something good about this character as part of the Marvel Legends line. They always give you a quality Wolverine figure. It's always got the sculpt, the articulation, and you can just kind of pick and choose what Wolverine is going to suit you best. They do kind of get you when it comes to the likes of the training suit here. I mean, that training suit means nothing to me, but as I said, that definitely has my favourite Logan head sculpts, and so that's why I picked that one up. But I did really like the look of Old Man Logan at the time, loved the brown suit, probably didn't need the Heat Claw Wolverine, but you can't have too many Wolverine figures, as you can see, and the worst part is that isn't even them all. So I do need to slow down on the Wolverines, but again, this one here in the new 2-pack is certainly a welcomed addition. And then we've got our new Wolverine next to a couple of Cyclops figures. We've got the VHS figure and the Love Triangle 3-pack Cyclops. And here's our new Wolverine next to Marvel Legends Retro Carded Beast, and I can't remember what wave this Sabretooth was a part of, but the other Sabretooth that I have in the collection. So even if you don't want to keep a hold of that new Sabretooth for whatever reason, some of the older Sabretooth figures are going to pair with this guy fairly well. Swapping out Sabretooth for Storm here, I wanted to see what Wolverine looked like next to another couple of X-Men, and yeah, he fits in really well. I would say maybe this Storm needs an upgrade. I do know there is a new Storm as part of the X-Men 97 wave. Maybe I'll need to pick that up. And then if you're wanting your Logan figure without a hat, this is the neutral head sculpt from that training suit Wolverine. Once again, this figure here. This is my favourite kind of neutral Logan head sculpt. I think it's the best that Marvel Legends have to offer at the moment. And it looks pretty good. I think you can get away with that pretty easily. The skin tones are ever so slightly different. If I turn down the lighting a wee bit, you might be able to see it better. But no, I mean, it matches fairly well here. It looks the part. It might be a tad on the small side. This is a bigger, bulkier body, I think. You know, comparing these two side by side, it certainly isn't the same body mold. You can see those shoulders are really broad, and so I think it works. I think it works for the most part. It looks good. It could maybe be slightly better. And so there we have it for our new Marvel Legends Wolverine 50th Anniversary 2-pack. And this thing is seriously fantastic. For that £44 price mark, I really don't have much complaints. I think it's well worth the price, especially if you're specifically looking for one of these characters. For me, I wanted a ferocious Sabretooth in the collection, and I think that this has me covered for many years to come. I really don't think it gets much better than that. For £22 each, yeah, these are two fantastic figures, and I think they'll definitely be in my top 5 Marvel Legends this year. The Wolverine figure was more of a constellation for me, but from what we've seen from that Wolverine video game that's going to drop, that teaser that they released where Wolverine's in the bar, it looks like he's sporting a costume very similar to this, so I do really like the look of this Wolverine overall, and I think it will also pay off over time when that game gets released. So I can't recommend this 2-pack enough. I think both of these are really solid versions of the characters. And so let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below, if you agree with what I've said, if there's anything you disagree with. What Wolverine figures are you looking to pick up as part of the 50th anniversary? Is there anything that you hope they're going to reveal further down the line? As I mentioned, I'm really hoping for a redo on that brown suited Wolverine. And then apart from that, I'm kind of chilling. I'm glad that I got these, especially because I am in such an X-Men mood at the moment. With the X-Men 97 show dropping again on Disney+, I absolutely loved those first 2 episodes, and I had to grab a couple of X-Men 97 figures, so hopefully that is next up on the channel. Keep your eyes peeled and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, it does mean a lot. And so yeah, I've picked up 3 X-Men characters that I've never had in the collection before, so 3 brand new characters for the collection. I'm really hyped on it. I'm hoping to get that recorded and uploaded for next week. But in the meantime guys, feel free to hop on over to my Instagram. I'll be posting some pictures of these two up over there, as well as other pictures when I can. I've got a lot to post, a lot to edit, and yeah, I'm loving the Instagram side of things at the moment. Feel free to hop on over to the channel page as well, check out any of my other videos. There's plenty of Marvel Legends stuff, import stuff, trading card stuff. So yeah, it means a lot when you check out the other videos. Hit one of the ones that are going to pop up at the end here. And with all that being said guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and as always, I'll catch yous on the flip flop later. Cheers.